Ladies and gentlemen, to all of you guys there, welcome once again. We are
Yep.
back with another episode, brother.
Yes, sir. It's been a while.
It has.
It has been a while since we recorded an episode, bro. It feels good, you know.
It does.
feels
Busy,
good.
but a bit of traveling there.
Yeah.
Guys, we came back from FMAS, phenomenal.
Yeah.
We actually have an episode out on that one as well, so have a look.
Yeah. Hope you guys saw it. Hope you guys checked it out. FMA's beautiful experience
Yeah.
in Cape Town.
Cape Town
International Convention Center.
International Convention
Yeah.
Center. It was great meeting. There was a bunch of new people.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's always nice getting onto the ground, getting the
Yeah.
boots on the ground, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
chatting, shaking hands, and so
Of
forth.
course,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Are you good, my man? Bro?
yeah, man,
You
bro.
good?
You know, sensible as can be.
Yeah.
It's good to be in the office.
Yeah.
Obviously, doing what we do.
Yeah.
I think we're shifting gears a little bit now. I mean, it's last 6 months of the year.
Yeah. We need to shift those gears, bro.
Yeah,
We need
yeah.
to,
Do
yeah.
you wanna kick us off with maybe
Yeah.
maybe just an intro maybe to
Yeah.
that, and then I'll push us through at
Sure.
least let the guys know about what we want to
Sure,
chat about.
Definitely. And I think before we do that, please, guys, please subscribe to the channel. We are close to 6,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
I think we're on 4,600.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Please like, share this to anyone who needs to hear
Yes.
the information, the knowledge you're going to be giving out, right? And
Yep.
please subscribe.
Yep.
So another episode of the podcast. So in this session, we're going to focus on, or in this episode, we're going to focus on resistance in life.
Yeah.
You know, it can be life, can be relationship,
Yes.
can even be trading,
Trading.
business.
Anything, right?
Just the resistance, right? And maybe look at different angles. Why is it important, or is it even important?
Yeah.
If so, why is it important? What it can do
Yeah.
to someone?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That is what I think it's a great
Topic?
to kickstart. Well, the second half of the year has already started.
Yes.
Right. So I think it's a great one just to help us, or help someone out there just to accelerate their progress in the last 6 months of the year.
Of the year, yeah.
You know, I think
and I
that'll be
mean,
great.
to think it is already the last 6 months
yeah,
of the year. It's gone
the second
by.
half of the year.
Second half of the year, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe just before I maybe go into some of those breaking down the word for the guys. Bafana.
Bro, I think you can hear with a sigh that I was extremely disappointed. I watched the game.
Yeah.
I think we played well, but 40% or 30% of the performance in that game I wasn't happy about, because like you mentioned earlier on, we passed the ball back too much.
Too much.
Right?
It was way too much.
Yeah, and there wasn't that sense of urgency.
Did you hear just on that point there, just whenever they pass the ball back to the captain, the crowd would actually boo.
Yeah, because
They
they know
start
what
boost-
happened the last time that happened. We conceded a goal.
They're like, guys, why you keep doing the same? You know what, bro?
Yeah.
Then there's the second thing. If I can just jump in onto your bandwagon there.
Sure.
So it's the passing back, but
Yeah.
then there's also the part of they keep the ball too long.
They keep the ball too long. Yeah.
You know, so like one player will try to outrun three of the opposite side, resistance. But then there is space, and there is guys that can be passed to.
Sure.
But it's like a choice. I don't know if it's do they call it super disky? Yeah, is it the Disky Cup, or here in South Africa?
What the trophy or the tournament?
Yeah,
or-
the local leagues,
it's the Premier League.
It's the Premier League, yeah.
Premier League, yeah. The Betway Premier League.
But now the way they play there sometimes comes out on a different platform. And so I'm like, that is not. And I mean, look, I'm not a soccer expert.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just put a disclaimer there.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not a soccer expert, but I think we can identify patterns. And
Absolutely.
the pattern there is like they're playing a local game on an international platform. And that's what I noticed, bro. And I'm like, also, thirdly, the inexperience at the goalpost.
Yeah, I think playing the local game
On
an international stage, and the highest level.
the highest level.
And with experience, definitely the guys
They lack
to be
that.
fair.
Yeah.
They lack that experience. Just to be fair,
Just to be fair,
So
I mean, look, they're not given Okay, wait. Let me rephrase that, bro. They're not given opportunities. Do they have to create their own? Is it South African Football Association's mandate? They should say they're supposed to create opportunities for our soccer athletes to grow and so forth. I don't know. Is it their mandate? Is it their mandate?
Well, I think there's something like that. That's why we have tournaments. I think something like that, it happens a lot in the development stages.
Yeah.
Where they would offer the guys who are developing and coming up opportunities like that, where they would play certain tournaments.
Yeah.
Like soccer in schools and that. So the development phase, that's what they do most of the time. But once you reach the level of playing in the PSL, I think the PSL on its own, it is an opportunity. That's why people then get transfers.
And you're right about that, because it says here SAFA, we know, is the governing body. Sure. They're responsible for running and organizing football structures in the country, developing youth and amateur football systems.
Yep.
Creating pathways for players, coaches, and referees to progress, managing national teams, Bafana, as we know, supporting academies, regional leagues, and development programs. They're supposed to create that. And with seeing the lack of experience at the polls, at the goal posts, because I picked it up, we had like 4 or 5 chances actually to score goals.
We could have scored. Earlier on, at least when it hit, I think 30 minutes or 40 minutes, we could have scored maybe 2 goals.
Yeah, man. And so when they get the ball, they either, I don't know, it's like they fall to the ground or something like that, man. Very interesting. So when they fall after they get it, it's like they lose their footing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like they run over their own legs. But when you look at a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo, or look, I don't want to compare on that level now, but if you look at when they get a ball in the box, what they do with that. And I mean, to be fair, I think our guys did play well. Sure, they definitely went into the history books.
Yep.
For the first time, went into the knockout round. I really thought they're gonna go through.
Bro, I was I had so much faith in the guys. I wanted them to progress to round of 16. At least maybe there, then we can get knockout. But for that exposure, because the guys worked hard, hard to get there. So they deserve,
deserve it.
One can look at round of 32 and think, it's fine. But I just wanted them just to go a little bit further. Bro.
Yes. Yeah. So guys, to all the Bafana players, well done, guys.
Well done.
Really well done. You really made us proud. Yeah. Obviously, we're not criticizing or scrutinizing for any agenda. Yeah. We're just being natural and honest. But I think overall, we're extremely proud of you guys. You guys did very well, and you made history for us. Well done, guys. Yeah.
Well done, guys. All right.
So resistance, I mean, if we do break down that word there, Bafana got resistance from Canada. If you break the word down, resistance, it means to stand against an opposing force. That's what it means. So in trading, support and resistance, a support can also be a resistance, but it's just called a support. A resistance can be a support as well, but it's called a resistance. But in actual fact, it just means that price, as it's going up, there is a force that's standing against price from going up, and that's the sellers. And if price is going down, there is a force, obviously, that's against the sellers, and that's the buyers.
The buyers.
Now, that's important because one asks the question, do we need resistance in our lives? Is it something that develops us? Is it something that we run away from T? Or is it something that is given to us?
Yeah.
Do we choose to go into higher levels or through higher levels of resistance? And what are the types of benefits there? Maybe if we can start it off with the apartheid era in South Africa, which I think many of the people in South Africa will agree to.
Sorry to interject, bro.
Yeah, brother.
I think the intro that you gave, let me just add on to
that.
Go
for it. Go
before we break it down.
Yeah.
You see, you asked the question, do you need resistance in life? That's a very important question. And I think for the most part, resistance is seen as a negative thing.
Actually, it is. Yeah, actually, it is.
It's seen as a bad thing. When you do something and then you hit that resistance. Many people might interpret that as you are in the wrong path.
Hey man, that's a very interesting angle there.
Yeah.
So they interpret as the wrong path. Yeah. You're not supposed to, because they want free flow.
Exactly. There we go. Right. Okay. And then, but in actual fact, resistance actually, if you have resistance, or if you bump into any sort of resistance, it might be even in the gym. I mean, you can't lift a weight without resistance.
There has to be pressure.
You see, your muscle won't grow.
Yeah.
Right. So I think resistance is there as a sign of you are doing the right thing. You're on the right path. The resistance is necessary.
Is there a negative side of resistance? Like, because that's the one side, right? It's the positive side of resistance, which can be seen as growth or progress, building. So that's what resistance can do for you.
Yeah.
Is there? Do you think there's a negative side of it as well?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. So the one you mentioned, the positive one, we might also say is the healthy resistance.
Okay, the healthy one. Right? Got you.
So I would say there's a healthy resistance and an unhealthy resistance.
Okay.
So the healthy one is, of course, where you would use it to develop further.
Yes.
But the unhealthy one is where now, obviously going to be the opposite of that, but where is the kind of resistance where now, how can I break this down? And
can I make an example?
Sure,
maybe
go for it.
Poverty is a force.
It's okay.
Right. So it's a force that has plagued an economy or a community, or So that force comes into the community. Now you can either resist it, or you can allow it to take over. Because now that's an unhealthy resistance.
Unhealthy.
That takes over. And if you don't stand, does that make sense though?
Yeah, I hear you. So yeah, so you mentioned poverty, right?
Yeah.
I think to an extent, it can be, we can say it's unhealthy resistance to an extent. Because because now with poverty, crime comes from poverty, right?
I believe that too. It's a symptom of it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So that is seen as an unhealthy resistance there.
Yeah.
In that, to that extent. Yeah.
Okay. So and then maybe from another angle, when resistance is unhealthy, when you're going against something and you don't have the resources, or you don't have the capacity to actually stand against it, it actually begins to eat into you and you begin to deteriorate. You don't have the manpower, you don't have the connections, but you're trying to go above the level at which you're at.
Yeah.
And it begins to erode away a lot of your character. So that becomes an unhealthy resistance.
When you find yourself constantly making poor decisions, maybe
that goes against your values,
there we go,
your belief systems, and so forth. So now it becomes an
unhealthy resistance.
Very interesting.
So the two now, healthy resistance and unhealthy resistance.
And you know what? That unhealthy one, that produces so much anxiety in people.
Yeah. Sure.
I think maybe more broadly speaking, mental illness. And that's just the instability of the mind, right? Yes, it's more deeper if you go into the clinical side of it. But I mean, we're not professionals in that sense. But I mean, broadly speaking, mental suffering from any form of mental illness is because there was resistance. Somewhere there was resistance, there was no coping with it, and that had an unhealthy outcome.
Exactly.
Effect.
Yeah. Sure. Effect.
So bro, thanks for interjecting just now.
Yeah.
Because that actually helped. I actually jumped the gun there.
Nah, it's all
so
good.
if we now so guys, as you can hear, we've defined it a little bit here. Remember, guys, we are here to offer great content. It's obviously in alignment with trading, and there's a lot of psychology that happens in trading. So as an example, if you're trying to make money, right, T, and you don't have the right ecosystem to help you in trading, that can become something that does not assist you, right? Now let's maybe think of it from a country perspective. Sure. I was mentioning the anti-apartheid movement, 1948 to 1994. We know that the leaders back then, ANC comes in, Nelson Mandela's there. They used, I'm actually seeing here, obviously the strikes, the protests, the international boycotts. And obviously that went on to be the end of the system, right? So the ANC, when they came out, they were a positive resistance to a system that was not conducive for the future of the country. That was a positive. But now look what happens. The resistance became something else.
And I was gonna mention it became something else.
Now, what would you call that? Like what it evolved into? Because it was a great resistance. It stood firm, stand against an opposing force. Great. But then after it stood and it won, what does it now evolve into?
Do you think, and I'm gonna come with a different angle here. You mentioned the late Nelson Mandela. Do you think that resistance we're talking about, which was a positive one, and right now we can say maybe it's a negative one, right? Let's just call it negative.
If we look at the statistics,
exactly.
of the economy, the unemployment, all those things, lets us know about, right? Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that happened when the late Mandela, stepped down, when his term ended, and then there was another president? Do you think that's when things started taking a turn? Because after him it was Thabo Mbeki, right? And or maybe let's say after Thabo Mbeki, maybe things started to take a turn.
Because I think President Mbeki still did some good stuff, man.
Of course,
we can pull up a whole list of that. But I mean, and the guys that's obviously watching, you guys can. I mean, information is out there, right?
Sure, yeah.
You know what, bro? I think before I can say or give a view of when it ended being a good positive resistance, one also needs to look at what were the values of that resistance. Because if the person steps down, or the people, or that group steps away, whatever is left gathers a new culture.
Yeah, that's true.
And what we thought is the resistance it started off with is now a totally different thing. So from that angle, I would say after the late President Mandela went or stepped down, President Thabo Mbeki, I think there was definitely a change in the culture of what the resistance was, and we're seeing, like I said, the outcome now of the statistics. Look at all of the political parties now versus when they were. Everybody felt part of ANC. They're like, this is healthy for us. This is us fighting for something. This is standing up for something. But now you have hundreds of parties with all different types of manifestos and all promising to be this type of opposing force.
They always do that.
They always do, right? So, but the question is, who do you trust?
That's always the question.
Who do you trust? Because the only party out of all of them at this point is the DA that has governmental experience on a national level, which is DA.
After ANC.
Yeah. I mean, DA is the full opposition. Honestly speaking, yes, there's other smaller parties. But from a complete opposition perspective, I think from a growth angle, the DA has come in.
No. I agree. Yeah. I mean. So, okay. So, and then I was before we even got to I was gonna raise something that the like you said, now we're seeing stats. Now we're seeing right, and the stats we're seeing is not the stats from maybe a year ago. Right? Is that from many years ago? Right? Like way back when things started to change. So all of those stats, right? So bro,
So I just want to bring up a couple of comparisons now between apartheid and then obviously let's look at post-apartheid, right? So apartheid era, roughly 37 million, this is about 1990, all right? 37 million population. Today, 63 million. So large growth, obviously it's a natural increase, improved reporting systems, the GDP size, okay? 1993, US dollars, the end of apartheid, 1993, we were sitting at between 140 and 150 billion. Today, the economy is sitting at 380 and 400 billion. So the economy has grown.
It's grown, yeah.
But it's not evenly distributed. That's the thing, all right? GDP per capita, all right? The wealth per person.
Yeah.
At this 1993, which is the end of apartheid, we're sitting at $3,500. And today, there is between $6,000 and $6,500. So it's improved, but the growth is still slower than emerging market peers. And then the unemployment, obviously, apartheid era, 15 to 20%. That was the unemployment.
15 to 20%.
Yeah.
That was apartheid era.
Yeah, but yes.
Okay.
But
15 to
and that was at the end, right?
at the end, yeah.
And so the data was a bit limited, so there was underreported stats that they're saying. So it was obviously cooked, according to some sources.
Okay.
I mean, we can't verify that, exactly. But today we're sitting at, between 32 and 35%, right? And
unemployment.
And then the youth unemployment obviously at 50%, which is insane.
It's insane.
50%.
50%. That's the youth. So
that's massive.
Sure.
And then obviously from a poverty levels perspective, apartheid, majority of the black population lived in poverty. There's no unified stats to it. So obviously there's a lot of missing pieces there as well. But they were excluded from the normal economy, and then obviously today between 40 and 55% of population lives below national upper poverty line.
Between 40
and 55%.
55%.
Yeah. So it's now measured openly. It's widespread, obviously. And then here we have access to services like electricity and so forth. 1994, only between 50 and 55% had access. That's why it was running also. It was running well for that amount of people.
Yeah.
Today, 85 to 90% have access, which is debatable because we're seeing what's happening. People are saying that that's not true.
Sure.
And then obviously water access, 60 to 65%. Apartheid era, now 85 to 88. So there has been improvement.
There has been improvement.
But there's still a lot of people, it says that we have a big problem.
Yeah.
So if we really look at it, the economy did expand. The infrastructure, has improved in terms of having access to it. The life expectancy did recover. Then the political system obviously became very democratic. But what did not improve was the unemployment, the inequality, which we can see obviously, and then obviously the last 2 years, the poverty levels. It remains deeply entrenched into the people, and it's more mindset that I think as well.
True.
Some people will obviously disagree and say, listen, it's not just mindset. Like, go and look where people live, which I agree with. However, there are keys to that as well. That if you always think that that's supposed to happen to you, let's be honest, things like that does happen if that's your mind, right? And then from a economic standpoint, the concentration there is still very uneven. Now the guys might be questioning us now today and asking, so what does it have to do with resistance? Because here we're seeing that, before the ANC became what it is today, when they started out, they were forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And later on, they don't have the majority share anymore, which means their strength in resistance has obviously dissolved now. And that can only be because of a culture shift. I can only imagine if they were still the same party with the same strength, tenacity, the same resource, the same spirit that started off, where would they be today? But I do think that, that people change along the way, and the resistance fell off. The ability to stand against.
Yeah, bro. So that's you mentioned a lot of important points there, and the point I wanted to put in there, obviously, you mentioned shift. Did you say shift? Culture shift? Or
yes. So certain values were no longer the same. It changed over time. I mean, it's 30. It's 3 decades now.
3 decades.
So we changed for sure.
So now, I'm going back to what I said when I said, where did the change happen exactly? Right? Was it post President Mbeki, we're now started to see that shift happen. And if it happened a long time ago, then that means right now we are really in trouble. Because we are deep in it now. We're really in trouble.
So if we look at it, if we say ANC and apartheid and ANC post, all right. So let's just look at it. So before 1994, and guys, please, we're not politicians. We're just looking at how politics can affect an economy.
Yeah.
And what happens after the effect there is the infrastructure can be poorly taken care of, and if it's not maintained and expanded or improved on, it affects the production of our country.
Yeah,
and that affects the rand. It affects what we do as a nation.
It affects so many things.
Yeah. So the markets get affected, and we trade the market. So we're chatting about things that happen, the leadership that's in here, and there's a lot of promises. So if we just go back to that, what did the ANC promise, or at least stand for before?
Yeah.
Which was so it's before 1994. The main role was liberation.
Liberation.
That's it. Not a government, just liberation. Key functions: fought against the apartheid system, organized the protests, strikes, like I mentioned just now, right? Number 3, they worked underground and in exile. And there's a lot of podcasts on many ANC comrades back then that's going to tell you stories about it, right? Which is actually nice to hear, because we're only talking liberation now. We're saying a fight. The spirit is there. We want to get out of this segregation, this oppression, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to not get out of it? They wanted to stand strong for the people of South Africa. And obviously they had a armed wing, Mkonto, which is the MK.
Yeah, MK has always been there, right?
It's always it's there before 1994.
Before 1994.
So it's interesting, all right? So the key leaders there: Walter Sisulu, obviously, Oliver Tambo, and Nelson Mandela. And people forget those 3. They were really spearheading a lot.
They were spearheading.
So all the guys we saw after, Thabo Mbeki, Cyril Ramaphosa, Jacob Zuma, they were underneath those guys.
Yeah, that's true.
They were underneath those guys. They were commissioned into different areas.
Yeah.
But Walter Sisulu, Oliver Tambo, and Nelson Mandela, they were obviously key leaders there. The outcome, obviously, massive. They put a lot of global pressure. Guys, if you go into some of the interviews that Nelson Mandela did when he was still fit and strong and so forth, you went to London, you went.
Yeah, he traveled.
He traveled quite extensively, and you'll see what he was saying there. Very, very powerful, very moving. Of course, that's the one side. There's the other side also, where people are saying a totally different thing, which in my mind, you know what, bro? There'll always be the opposing force of resistance. So,
always,
they obviously had Mandela released, 1990, negotiated the transition to democracy, and then obviously the first democratic election, 1994. So the ANC becomes the leading force. We now understand that, right? And this is not only good for why we're saying it here, but for the generations coming after us. I mean, as you know, bro, all my kids, they must know why we're a free nation today.
Yeah.
It's because of what we chatting to about now. They're able to travel, they're able to have access to certain things because of this standing against an opposing force, right? Then, ANC after apartheid. Now, this is where we move from liberation to government. Official political party. ANC became the ruling party, and the early post-apartheid success between 1994 and 2008. Built millions of houses, RDP, all right, housing. They expanded electricity access significantly, improved water and sanitation access, introduced the social grant system, with which was the welfare expansion, and then stabilized the economy, strong growth in early 2000s. And it says that this period is often seen as a state building and reconstruction, which is understandable, because they're coming from what a previous regime had in mind, from a vision perspective, and now they need to go and reform and reconstruct the new South Africa, which is democratic in its leadership, right? But then later, post-apartheid challenge, which is 2009 to present, here's the major issues now, right?
Let's go for it.
Rising unemployment, especially youth, slow economic growth, ESCOM energy crisis, the load shedding, we know, corruption scandals, state capture era, infrastructure decay, and the high inequality remains. So the economic reality then today, from liberation to governance now, the economy grew, but not fast enough to reduce inequality.
Okay.
Job creation lagged, and population is growing and there's no jobs. So remember, it was 37 million, 63, and there's no unemployment. There's no employment. So we have more people and there's less jobs. Pressure, crime, corruption, and then investor confidence has been inconsistent. So investors I believe, want to invest in South Africa. We have a beautiful country. We've got so much here.
Yeah.
From minerals to agriculture, anything you can think of from an industry sector perspective, there is definitely potential there. And I mean,
of course,
I'm understating it really now. But the resistance is that there's no leadership right now that's standing against what has become of what was, and those are the people that need to emerge.
Sure, and the current leadership, you mentioned that they were there, but so like in the background,
Exactly.
If you look at the pictures of that era, your govern Beki, also Sisulu, you would see a Jacob Zuma somewhere
there,
Cyril Ramaphosa somewhere there.
Yeah.
So now what I'm thinking now is because Ash, if you have worked for someone who then became a billionaire, right? So like you are shadowing that person. Surely you must have seen how they operate, how they conduct themselves, and how they do things, such that it can help you in your journey, right? So I'm thinking now, weren't they looking at how things are run, or was it a completely different era? I mean, it was a different era. Right?
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of things that are happening now. Life is moving fast, But surely there must have been
like a lesson.
A lesson, on how to tackle certain things.
Yeah.
The things that are happening now, of course, we wouldn't have thought we're going to have them. But surely you must have some sort of intellect to well, I'm using it loosely, for lack of a better word, just to tackle certain issues and make sure that what was then, it still remains and has, because it had a lot of potential back then.
Yes.
Right? It had a lot of potential. So that's what I'm thinking now.
So maybe just to give one view, and guys, you are more than welcome. Put your comments in the chat, guys. Let us know what you guys think here as well. Remember, we're not politicians. We know how to trade the markets. We know what affects the markets, and politics is one of them. And to add to what you asked there, brother, I do think that they did learn.
They did learn.
Yeah, I think so. I'll give them that credit. They definitely learned something.
Yeah.
But I also think that they did not know what they were walking into in terms of levels, the influence and the power that comes with higher levels.
You think so?
Yeah. It's like Bafana knows how to play on a local level, but go on to an international platform at the highest. The inexperience and the lack of exposure to it,
I get you.
over the years, when they get on that level, then they kind of stumble.
Got you.
So I think that because they never had access, because it was always kept from them. You see, it was always kept from Black South Africans. According to history, they were segregated. So they never had the access to higher levels of wealth So when they got into it, something happened there. The inexperience, the lack of exposure. So we saw that now only we're seeing the emergence of Black people, and I'm going to be inclusive here. Black South Africans, coloreds, and Indians. All right. Because we have the exposure now, and we have the access to education and the highest levels of what we can have to progress. You're seeing a more exposed South African coming into leadership, more educated now. Back then, they had to work with what they had.
Yeah,
it wasn't easy for them to get educated because they were oppressed.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that. So any black South African back then, and I'm giving them credit, the ones that pushed beyond and said, listen, I'm not going to allow that oppression to stop me. They became a force, resistance, right?
Got you.
That stood against that opposing nature of the apartheid regime.
Got you.
And so they got educated. Some of them became lawyers. Many of them became lawyers because they needed to know the law.
Yeah.
I mean, the law needed to be rewritten, or at least the constitution needed to be updated. There needed to be a change to it. So you needed lawyers at that time. So they had to study that. And for me, that's actually extremely powerful. And I admire that. I do think that they, again, they worked with what they had. But I'm thinking now we're seeing the emergence of a more evolved South African across the board. And it's not only black people, it's white people as well. We're seeing black, white, colored, Indian. All races are more evolved. They're more literate. They're more studied, educated, and they're more exposed. Many have traveled abroad, come back, and you see their voices emerge because they've seen what other nations and economies do and what their leadership systems are like, and they're able to come and contribute to South Africa. We just need a little bit more. We need more voices like that to actually rise, because corruption is from an old system. It's from an old system, right? Because if you look at a dilapidated house or building, it used to be nice when it started. But then it was poorly managed. There was no upkeep. And so the rot started. So I think corruption that we see today is from a movement that was once very strong, but it was not managed well. It was poorly managed. And so now you're getting the new South African coming in. Doesn't matter what race they are or what party they're from. And they're saying, hey, check out, this system is no longer conducive for the growth of the next evolution or evolutionary stage of South Africa. Maybe just to add to what you had mentioned, So it's, I think this is a very important point, maybe to take an off ramp, bro. And like maybe look at how that affects the rand, how that affects, if you are trading something, and how that filters into the psychology of a trader. Because if you trade the USD ZAR, it's going to be very tough for you to always understand what you should be doing, because of the inconsistencies that we're seeing in the nation.
Yeah, look, and that inconsistency, when you look at the charts, it can then create the rand to be, it can then make the rand to be volatile.
Yes.
That inconsistency, all right? Obviously, when a country is functioning like that or is like that, it's going to impact the exchange rate of the currency for sure, right? And that's why we've been seeing the last time the rand was below 10 rand, it was just after World Cup, I think. I think just after World Cup. And from there, it hasn't even touched 10 rand to a dollar, right? So yeah, obviously, it's gonna impact the currency. You're affected negatively, and
it was roughly between 2003 and 2012. The rand was consistently strong during that specific cycle there.
Right.
So 2004 to 2007, it was between 6 and 8. All right, guys, and remember, please give your comments below. We want to interact with you. We want to make sure that we get this community running. Between 2008 and 2010, about 8-9 rand, and then 2010 to 2012, it was frequently below the 10 rand mark, and then late 2012, early 2013, broke permanently above the 10 rand.
they say permanently.
Broke permanently. It's like a permanent state. So now, but that is very important because it tells us there was a structural move there. So the system of South Africa went into a change in structure. Sorry if I'm repeating myself there, but the structure changed after 2013. And so the rand is indicative of that. It's showing us that, listen, something shifted in leadership here, and it affected the rand.
But also, that point. But also, we need to also look at against the other currency, like the dollar. Like the dollar.
Yeah.
Obviously, the dollar was much stronger.
Yeah.
So what if maybe it is as a result of the dollar, which was stronger than the rand at the time?
Yeah.
Like you said, like I'm trying to have like a kind of like a 3D view of this, right? Not only looking at the rand, but also looking at the dollar as well.
Yeah. So from 2015 to 2020, the USD ZAR was mostly between 13 and 17 rand.
13 and 17.
So because there's a strong US dollar cycles. China slowdown was there, it impacting a lot of the commodities.
You see, things like that.
Yeah, so those were the external things that affected, the reason why. But 2020 is when we really went into that spike of 19 rand. COVID.
And 2020, there was COVID.
Yeah, and then obviously now more 2021 to 2026, we now between 17 and 20.
And remember, that's against the dollar.
That's against the
Imagine
dollar.
against the pound.
It was
24.
Exactly.
24.
Exactly. But that 2013 is an important anchor that we put in.
Sure.
It's a pivot point that says the structure shifted. So for a trader, guys, it's important to note that because now all the fundamentals that comes after 2013, pay attention to that. You know, what agreements did we put in place to help strengthen the rand? Or at least South Africa's position. BRICS came. When did BRICS come?
BRICS wasn't it 2019? Oh, no.
It was at the late BRICS. So 2000. So the concept 2001, first official meeting 2006, first BRICS summit 2009, and then 2010 the BRICS was formed.
2010 BRICS was formed.
But what's important about this is that. That's 2010. We said 2013. So it's only 3 years after that the shift changes. Shift started, but then South Africa joined another organization that helped strengthen it on the other side.
On the other side,
you see. So which is it was actually very good that happened. Can we say that it progressed? I don't know if BRICS really progressed according to what they wanted for it.
I mean, if you look at the countries, then BRICS, one would think that progression would have been
a bit more there would have been more resistance. The force against.
You see,
But I don't see how it actually came, to change anything really. It's just countries that have come together because we're not seeing it shift the South African economy in a different direction.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
We're still so dependent on the US,
And what we're doing now is we're just waiting to see the positive side from BRICS, because like I say, it hasn't given us that major shift we were anticipating.
It does look, apart from the US dominance, obviously they trade in their own currencies.
Yeah.
But the goal of it was, they want to reduce the reliance on the US.
Yeah.
But the US is still dominating, bro.
I think that's going to be a conversation we're going to have, I think, in the next 10 years. Same conversation, because that is what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah. They're trying to, and I think we had a great chat about that in some of the other episodes.
I remember,
where we chatted about the de-dollarization. Which, at this point in time, the dollar is still still king.
Yeah, and obviously the leader, the president there, I don't think is gonna just. Well, his term is gonna come to an end in like 3 years. I think. Yeah.
And whoever comes in after him, if they have the same look. Yeah, I mean, there's only one Trump, really.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest about that.
Yeah, there's only one Trump.
What BRICS has not done, here's a reality check.
Sure.
This is what I want to give to the guys. No single BRICS currency, all right? No unified economic policy. No military alliance like NATO. We've heard about NATO when it came to Trump. NATO's been around for some time, right? There's no full financial integration. And we're talking 2001, it's 2026. So remember, we said it started 2001, The concept, first BRICS summit was 2009.
2009.
And then 2010 the BRICS was formed.
Yeah.
So that's about 16 years now.
And still...
And nothing that we can say is a path to being less reliant on the US. So for traders, that's important because if there's no resistance to the US dominance, we're going to see a lot of influence still on the dollar. So you'll still be trading the gold as you're trading the gold. Silvers, all the commodities. Bitcoin will still be influenced by the US dollar. And if the US continues to be progressive in their policy on cryptocurrency, now they step into the alternative financial system, because cryptocurrency is an alternative system to the SWIFT, to the global reserve currency system, right? Because I mean, all debt is tied to the dollar. The oil is in dollars. The treasury yield, all of it is following the US pathway. So if the dollar continues to be dominant, guys, as traders, we're looking at trading it in the same way we're trading it at this point, which is June, halfway into 2026.
Halfway into 2026. Yeah, but that's something scary there. What BRICS has not done. All of these years. Do you think it is as a result of us in South Africa, and that's why the president visit these other countries just to strengthen the relations and seek investors? Do you think that hasn't happened as a result of all of those countries seeking investment into their economies to strengthen certain ties, relations? Do you think it's because if, let's say, the US and maybe France, I mean Europe was to form something like that, because of how strong they are economically compared to the BRICS countries, there would have been that they would have had a lot of things done.
Bro, for me, I think it also goes in with the experience of the country.
The experience of the countries.
Because the US is older than South Africa. So they've been independent for longer to become a modernized first world country, right?
Got you.
So that comes with experience. It goes back to Bafana. They haven't had the exposure into the international stage in terms of World Cups, because we've never made it past the group stages, right? It was the first time we made it past into the knockouts, right? But look at countries like Argentina or Portugal, Germany. I believe the USA as well. They've also gone further a few times, right? In knockout stages, right?
I believe so.
Korea, Japan, all these countries, they've gone past the group stages into knockouts. They've had a feel for what it's like, the experience, and that added their resistance to any force that comes against them. So the US has more dominance because they have experience in international markets. Their businesses have more dominance. They're more established. They're more evolved and so forth. And I think that actually adds to why we necessarily can't come up, or why we don't have the speed on our side. I mean, look how long we take to do certain things opposed to countries that have a bit more experience. I think that is one of the foundational things. Yes, I mean, there's a lot of economists out there that will give us a lot more detail.
Sure.
They'll be very technical and, but I think that is a very important thing to note, is that they just have so much exposure.
So much exposure.
Yeah. That's a very important point.
No, absolutely, 100%. Okay, so... All right, so we're still on the topic of resistance, guys. If you just joined us now, watched us now, please don't forget to subscribe. Share this to someone who you think really needs this information. Because at the end of the day, we are traders, but we try to look beyond the charts.
Just the charts, exactly.
Yeah, beyond just the charts. Yeah, interesting topic, bro. And also to add.
Let me just add to the comparison. I actually looped in UK there. I looped in Russia. I looped in China. And UK is 320 years.
UK 320 years.
Yeah. Russia 35. China 75. The US 250. And then South Africa 115. So we are older than China.
You're older than China. We are older. And there's another one.
In terms of the modern state that was formed, the country is obviously older because the population obviously went from the North Africa, it went into Asia and so forth, right? Because, I mean, China's a very old country. But the modernizing of the state, the form, the modern formalization of it, it's the past 50 to 70 years, China was still very rural and a lot of illiteracy was there. And in 75 years, they've become, 1949, the modern state formed.
Sure. 1949.
Yeah, ours formed 1910, between 1910 and 1994.
1910.
Yeah, because remember, apartheid was kind of modernizing South Africa already.
Yeah.
We just got a bit of what that modernization was, which is the electricity supply, water, etc. Those official infrastructure creation and developments over the years. So China 75, Russia's 35.
Russia. Who could have?
And it's pretty old as well. I mean, it's old country. It's ancient.
It has to be. Yeah.
China's an ancient country. A lot of ancient things come out of there. So for them being that old and they were able to capitalize, just stand firm and say, listen, even although we're in a very competitive environment, we're going to stand through it. And I think that goes back to a trader, is to say that, guys, you are in a place where there's people that are before you in trading.
Yeah.
There's people that have experience of 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Maybe you only have 2 years. And you like doubting yourself and saying, listen, I want to kind of give up on this. I don't want to continue because I'm not getting the holy grail. There's no strategy that works for me. And so we're just saying, you got to stand against that.
And you look at the, I'm gonna say the OGs, right? They've been in the game for so long, and they still respect the game. They still respect trading in terms of they know what they need to do.
Yes.
And then someone who has 2 years experience doesn't do those things. You tend to wonder, but it can even go as far as discipline. Where's the discipline there?
Where's the discipline, right? So there has to be a methodical way in which you approach it.
Yeah.
Understand that, if you're joining us here for the first time, we just want to let you guys know that the way we do things at the academy, myself and T, is that we don't just teach you about, here's a trend line, here's a support and resistance zone, here is an entry point. Here is how you do risk and reward.
Yeah.
What T and I teach our guys is, let's understand the flow of money. Let's understand how it flows in politics, how it flows in economics, how it flows into social factors. Because every country has relationships, which is the sociology of that nation, right? And who they are aligned with affects their system. And so if you understand these things, these fundamentals, it helps you make more informed decisions, right?
Of course.
Now, that flow, there's resistance everywhere. That's what creates the buyers and sellers. It's the resistance of buyers and of sellers, and they opposing each other. So if you know when to be a buyer and when to be a seller, that helps you develop your strategy. And that is very important. So we teach you that dynamic. When are you a buyer? When are you a seller? And we use the law of resistance to actually help with that.
You see how it ties in nicely to that.
And we went far. We went Bafana.
Yeah.
And we came back to ANC, Mkondo, Sizwe, MK.
And then we so the resistance. So right now, right? So like you say, we went to Bafana. So we looked at the past.
Yeah.
Now the present. Where do you think we are right now? And I'm speaking with what we've been talking about here. You know, let's talk about the country since we've been making references. Where do you think we are right now? We spoke about what has happened. We spoke about the stats. Yeah. What's your view on that? What's your take on that?
Do you mean politically, economically?
Let's
just
make it
broadly speaking. All right. Yeah. So at this point in time, I think maybe just a few facts for the guys. Obviously, we are a democracy that is open. Different people are allowed in terms of leadership. Politics is synonymous with the leadership, right? I think we're at a good place from a leadership perspective because we supposedly have a open door policy to say that if there is change that's needed, then I think our leadership can embrace it. Do I think there is resistance from older regime? Do I think there's higher ups, there's groups, there's clusters of people that try to block? Yes. But that's what grows, like we said just now. That's what grows the mindset, the experience of the nation. You got to have that. But we're at a much better place now in terms of leadership.
I agree.
People are more open. They're able to share. I mean, look at the trading exposing culture. How they we've been in this exposing culture for the past 5 years now, right? Since COVID, we've seen a ramp up, or at least a scaling ramp of people coming online saying, this guy doesn't really do this. This is there's a lot of noise, which lets us know that it's open, which is great. I think the managing of that must be done better. All right.
And I don't think it can be managed. Actually.
Yeah. If there's no proper policy in place, if there's no rules and regulations put in place, like example, the FSCA should have something from a finance perspective. What are you allowed to say and what are you allowed not to say? Because for anyone that's a representative or a key individual, there are rules for them. There's a regulatory framework. And by the way, guys, you got to be a licensed brokerage just like us at TD Markets. The FSCA make sure that we actually follow the rules. All brokerages, we're talking financial institutions, financial service providers, we follow a regulatory framework. So this exposing culture, example, you're not allowed to, if you're not qualified to give a signal to someone and give them advice. And you guys know in all our streams, we're always telling the guys we are not giving advice.
It's not advice.
Because the FSCA says, listen, if you're not qualified from a regulatory framework perspective to do that, there's certain licenses that you have to have in place to do that. Now, I think there should also be streaming, like a code of conduct with streaming and giving content on the internet, online, to say there's things that you say, there's things that you don't say. And although I think there is, from a defamation perspective, there's certain things that you can't just say like that, right? It's like you can't really control it because people, they misinterpret free speech, and maybe we'll go on into that another day, right?
Yeah, sure.
What free speech means. But to come back to the question, leadership, I think it's open. I think that there is much more growth now. I think that people are waking up, so to speak, to change. And I think the resistance now is that change is inevitable.
No.
And it can't be held back anymore, right?
Yeah.
From an economic perspective, I do think that because we're seeing more educated people coming to the forefront, more experienced people, I think that our system, because synonymous with economics, is a system. So the system of South Africa, I think now is at a place where we have great agreements with certain countries. We still have a lot in the nation, on the land to produce. And I do think that we're not at a bad place with the US. I don't think that we're at an awful place with them. I just think there's a misunderstanding right now, because of what has happened. Those certain things like the killing of farmers, etc. I think those are pockets of anger that has not been resolved yet.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're at a place where it's like all ties are cut.
No, I agree with you fully, bro.
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's not there. I think it can still be, there's still a remedy for it.
Yeah.
There's still solutions.
Yeah.
We just need different leaders that will go and negotiate, that will represent maybe a different value, a different way of thinking.
Yeah, you see that one. And
because the current guys don't satisfy the values of the US. Do you remember we spoke about the meeting
of
President Ramaphosa, and then they brought Julius up, the Honorable Malema.
Yeah.
And it was chaos there.
It was absolute chaos.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, well, controlled chaos. Yeah, but it was
chaos.
A mess, bro.
It was a mess. And some people may say, no, they give credit to President 100%. He was cool and calm under the circumstances.
Yeah.
There was a lot of resistance he had. Because imagine, no, just keep quiet. Just look there. That's a lot of pressure, bro. Because you want to say something. You want to... And then after the video is done, the narrative is already put on. The story is already told.
Yeah.
So all the other guys that spoke after the video had to, have a remedy, kind of, cover up. But the narrative was already placed onto the storyline.
Even if they tried to cover up, it was already there.
So that affects the system because now other nations are like, oh, so that's what's wrong with the system of South Africa. That's why we're not seeing employment. That's why we're not seeing this. We're not seeing that because look what's in the nation. Look who's saying what. Look at the kill. You see, so now they're pointing to certain aspects that can drive investors away. Like we saw investors, it's inconsistent.
Yeah, it's inconsistent.
Because of things possibly of that nature.
Sure.
And then from a social perspective, bro, so there's the politics, leadership, economic system. Obviously, it's more deep. I mean, there's more depth to it, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of professionals out there that we respect highly that can obviously add a lot of meat, a lot of detail to that, okay? But then the social side of it, I think we have a very, very good track record of maintaining friendships as a nation.
Okay.
I don't think that we are the friend that stabs in the back.
Yeah. I don't think.
We like the nation that's happy, that's diverse, that's is warm. I'm not referring to the African continent because we have brothers from the African continent at this point in time that thinks a little bit differently about that, which we're not going to comment on here because we don't know what the outcome is yet. So hands off.
Yeah. But
there are, for the most part, I think we're doing pretty well in terms of friendships. So for now, I think we at a place of shifting. How that shift is going to come, I don't know if it's through elections, bro. I don't know if it's through another government. Everyone is saying that the change is coming through a new government. I don't know. I don't think the ANC is done yet, to be honest.
You don't think they are done?
Yeah. I still think there's a couple of years still left.
Yeah, look.
I don't think that they are done with their governance. I think there's still a few years left.
And I agree. Yeah. I agree to your point. I don't know if I had this conversation with you or someone else, but I told that person that, the older generation, they still vote for ANC because of what it did back then. So they still believe and have, even if they see what's happening right now, but they still believe that they can do what they did back then.
Exactly. So the faith is there in them.
The faith is there in them.
Yeah.
Is there. Yeah.
So I do think that at some point we're going to need a younger president. I still believe in younger. I remember I told you that last time.
Yeah.
I think we need a much younger president, and we can have the council of more experienced gentlemen to help, give advice and direction. But I think we need a much younger president, preferably mid 40s into their late 50s. So that's about a 15-year range there that I think we need a president in. And I think that it's fresh blood, youthful, maybe not as much as experience, but the drive and the will to stand against things that we can see didn't work in the past is there. Because the older you get, look, we young men, but we look at the older generation. Yeah. They're not as worried about certain things the way we are, because they've already reached, if you're in your 70s and 80s, if you just look at it, they kind of like, there's no use to argue. Well, there's no use in arguing about that. It is what it is. Look at Trump right now. I mean, he's like 79 or something like that. There's certain things he doesn't want to engage in. He's like, I'm not engaging in that. Yeah. He just doesn't, So we need leadership right now that's going to usher us into that shift that is, present, spot on, right there, hands on. We have to shift. Example, we have a water crisis. Who's really dealing with it? When we say water crisis, people don't have access to proper water, right? Electricity as an example. What is the actual plan? There is no plan. Do we have to build new power plants? Do we need to refurbish, revamp the existing ones? There's no plan for that. And I think I'm going to go back to one of our episodes we had long before, bro.
Yeah.
What is the vision of South Africa? We spoke about this a year or 2 years ago already, bro. What is the vision of South Africa? Yes, we know we're a democracy. Yes, we know who the governing body is. Yes, we know we have a constitution. Yeah. We know all these things. But what is the vision of South Africa? What are we attempting to do as a nation? You know?
Yeah, I don't think we know. I don't think we know. I mean, if we did...
Yes, then the whole country would have known. So for us, even at TD, we know what the vision is. Yeah. We know what we're working towards. Yeah. When we break away in our different departments, we know what we want to achieve, right? Yeah. So as a nation, so here we go. I'm checking online. What can we get you, right? So the official vision.
Official vision.
According, right? So listen to this, traders. Is to eliminate poverty and reduce inequality by 2030.
2030.
That is the official vision. To eliminate poverty and reduce inequality by 2030.
Has that vision been there 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Or is it... Yeah, because that's a very important question.
Let's see.
What was the vision 15 years ago? Maybe 16 years ago? You see that?
South Africa's current national vision has been in place for about 14 years.
Really? Okay.
So the plan was designed to run from 2012 to 2030. It's an 18-year plan. It's to eliminate poverty, reduce inequality, create jobs. It's 2026. We just, traders, remember, we're being objective here now, right? Improve education and healthcare. Build reliable infrastructure. Strengthen government institutions.
Imagine these laughing, and I know why you're laughing.
Grow an inclusive economy.
None of that has happened. You just mentioned now that we are getting more and more and jobs, and there's no jobs. People are getting more.
So there's about 4 years remaining until the target. So according to what we're seeing, there's about 4 years remaining.
Yeah. It's
and
tough.
I can't think of one person that succeeds in the ANC right now. I can't think of a person that succeeds in South Africa from a leadership perspective. Who's the person that's going to take us to the next level?
I know the person you know a person that...
Everybody has a person. But we need one. We need one. And that one must have a group around them that takes the country forward. So yeah, man. I mean, just we have 4 years left.
4 years left.
To eliminate poverty. Reduce inequality. Create jobs. Improve education and healthcare, build reliable infrastructure, strengthen government institutions, and number 7, grow an inclusive economy.
And you know what's crazy about this? Every elections, that's what the party says. We're gonna all of those. We're gonna do this. And now none of that hasn't happened. Hasn't happened. And there's 4 years now.
There's left,
and they can't get all of them right in such a short speed of 4 years.
In 4 years, it's too.
Nah, it's too.
So here we go. So here, how many of it has been achieved, right? I'm looking at different sources here, right, guys?
Okay.
So from a democracy perspective, these different sources, it says it's stable. That's been achieved. Democratic institutions remain in place with regular elections and peaceful transfers of power. Peaceful transfers of power. I don't know if it's peaceful, okay?
I don't think it's peaceful.
Infrastructure, it's partial. Education is partial. Healthcare is partial. The reason why they say healthcare, the sources say life expectancy has improved and access to treatment. Educationally, more children attend school and university than before. And then job creation, largely unmet.
Sure.
That's needless to say.
Sure.
Right? Economic growth, largely unmet. Poverty, they say partial. Social grants have helped reduce, I don't know if it's 350 Rand per month. Social grants have helped reduce extreme hardship for many households. But poverty, that for me is not, it's largely unmet.
Yeah.
Inequality is largely unmet, absolutely. And a capable ethical state, they say it's partially. This is now from different sources, all right?
Different sources.
There have been governance improvements in some areas, but corruption and service delivery challenges have hindered progress. Yeah, so it says what has improved? More people have access to electricity, water, sanitation, and housing than in the past. Guys, these are from, I'm getting this from 4 different sources.
So what has improved? More people have access to...
Yeah, it's one. Number 2, the social grant system supports millions of vulnerable South Africans. 350 Rand. All right. Number 3, healthcare access has expanded. South Africa has maintained democratic institutions. What has not met expectations? Unemployment is at the top of the list. Economic growth, inequality, infrastructure problems, definitely, governance and corruption. So guys, these things are important because it's letting us understand that trading has now become more of a necessity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you just look at it like this, if we in a country that we have 4 years left to meet a 18-year period of vision that was cascaded, given, and we have 4 years left, there's alternative arrangements that needs to be made. Arrangements that need to be made, and trading the financial markets is definitely one of them. Do we have faith in our country, our land? Yes,
of course.
So much potential, but I think the management, there needs to be a change somehow. So
So I think in concluding this topic, I think what you just said is going to tie in nicely to what we are going to announce.
Yeah, exactly.
When you say trading is a necessity right now, and I can only imagine in the next, let's say by 2030, how many of traders we're going to have.
We're going to have in 20 years.
Already the cap has gone up.
Yes.
So I can only imagine, bro. But you
want to announce? You want to?
I think we should.
Let's just go.
So guys, we have an announcement as the academy. All right. Many of you who are watching this, you already are our clients. The academy clients as well, students, if you may put it that way, and we engage with you guys on a daily basis. All right. So we should I say launch or hit refresh?
Yeah, it's we are hitting a refresh button.
We are hitting a refresh button. The academy, right? You can say there's a facelift coming.
Yes.
All right. And that's gonna be effective from the
6th of July.
6th of July.
This year, guys.
So we're hitting refresh. What we have right now is gonna become 2 times, 3 times more.
Yes.
Yes. We still have our education sessions there, but we're gonna put more stuff for you guys, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna extend our trading rooms.
Yes.
So it
times 4.
Times 4. It won't only be on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Mondays to Fridays.
4 times a day.
Right. We're gonna extend, and one of the slots is actually in the evening.
Yes. Exactly. That's the US session, guys. The New York session. Evening. Which is important. There's a lot of trading that happens. Many guys can't trade during the London session. They at work. So we've now opted to become that kind of or have that option available.
I think you guys are gonna like this one a lot. If you miss the even if you've missed the 2 p.m. sessions we have, like right now Tuesdays and Thursdays, this 6 p.m. one, I think you're gonna then you must look forward to it. I think it's really going to be exciting.
So it says it's at 9:30. It's 12 midday, 3 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And remember, guys, one of the other reasons why we're doing 4 trading rooms every day is because we want to teach our students how to follow their instrument, how to follow their trading plan. Because if we have 2 trading rooms on a Tuesday and Thursday, yes, it was good for a while, it lasted.
Yeah.
But we're seeing the uptick now of many students not knowing how to follow from Tuesday to a Thursday. So if we run with you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you get into a trade on Monday, Euro USD, example, and you're buying, it's easier to track it throughout the day, and then the next day you know what you're going to be doing.
There we go.
So we literally walking with you guys now. We're going to be doing a lot of updates. So example, let's say at 9:30, we start with the London session. There's an opportunity that only materializes around 12. We take the trade at 12. At 3 o'clock, we are reviewing the trade. At 6 o'clock, we're looking to see if we close or not.
You see things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that you actually track your progress now in a more consistent way. And obviously, in between the trading rooms, there's mentorship and topic-based sessions. That will be via Zoom. But to get access to that, you're going to have to complete a few assignments, which we are bringing into the forefront. And once you've done those assignments and you've gotten your certificate of completion, you'll be redirected into the topic-based sessions. And that's going to be, during the trading room. So that will be about three times a day.
3 times a day.
3 times a day. Morning, early afternoon, and then late afternoon as well. So it's going to be jam-packed, man.
It's going to be jam-packed.
Jam-packed of great content.
And we're doing this for you guys, right?
Yeah.
For you guys, it's very important that like what Ash said, being able to follow the plan, right?
Exactly.
So you guys will be seeing it.
Yeah.
Because Tuesdays and Thursdays might not be enough, Come Thursday, markets have changed differently.
A totally different image,
Yeah. So you might be forced to not follow your plan when that happens. But this Mondays to Fridays, what is it, 4 times?
Yeah, it's 4 times a day.
Yeah. You'll be able to see how we follow a trading plan.
Exactly.
Because it's important, really
That's fair.
it's important.
You want to build systematically.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a guesser. At the end of the day, you are going against so many other things. Everybody's busy. To the ones that are married, not married, children, not no children, running different businesses. Lives are busy.
Your lives are busy.
So you can always slot in at any time during the week and literally catch up. All right. I mean, Tuesday and Thursday is 1 hour. It was good while it lasted. But guys, I think from an academy perspective, we want to give our students more content, more quality. And we want to add on and improve every single year. I think it's been now from 2023. We've trained thousands of people across the world already. And right now, what we are doing is we're seeing the evolution pattern of the academy. So after 3 years, look what has happened. So it's not that we're going to take another 3 years to change or shift, but we saw that it took about 3 years for us to ground ourselves. We now know what we need to do. And then obviously we're just going to move and scale from there.
Yeah. And also, well, this is not really a change, but just we are adding on what we have.
We are adding on to that. And that's a scaling.
That.
Exactly. That's a scaling thing that we're referring to.
And then you mentioned the topic-based sessions we're going to have. You mentioned those. And
that's important, man. From understanding how to deal with levels from a beginner sense, we're going into more intermediary, advanced, how to use the depth of market as an example. Many guys don't look at the depth of market. We want to look at the inflows, the outflows of certain price levels. That will be discussed as a topic specifically in those sessions there.
Yeah.
And you are more than welcome to attend. Obviously, when we do roll it out and you begin to interact with us a little bit more, then you'll be able to understand how to get in there.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, man. So that is the announcement from the academy. We're excited. We are very excited.
Absolutely.
This is going to be effective from the 6th of May. So if you're ready...
6th of July.
6th of July. Did I say May?
I said May.
6th of July.
6th of July, 2026.
Yeah. So if you're already our student, we will communicate. We've already given hints or we already told you guys before. But we will definitely officially announce this.
Yeah.
But we're hitting refresh. Ding. And then, ding,
So it's a refresh, guys, for the academy. We're looking forward to chatting with you guys and moving with you.
Sure, 100%.
All right, man. I think that's about it for our one in here.
That's about it. It was a good one. I enjoyed it.
We went this way and we went that way, and we actually came to the center part, which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
But again, guys, it was great being with you once again. Another episode, for you, and obviously looking forward to some of the collaborations. So check out for them; it's coming.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to showing you guys what we've been working on, behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. You learned. I enjoyed myself.
Absolutely.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, same here, man.
Yeah, and we will catch you on the next one.
Next one, guys. All right. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.